At New York Hard Assets with Mark MacDonald, who's Vice President of Business Development with Ucore. Welcome, Mark.
Thanks, Tim. Good to see
now, Ucore, at first impression, you'd think you're a uranium company because of the U, but what is Ucore exactly?
Well, Ucore is a heavy rare earth deposit in Bocan Mountain. We're going to be coming out with our PEA within the next month or so, and we're going to be what we expect to be is the first producer of dysprosium outside of China.
Now you've got a range of rare earth metals, and for those that don't know the rare earth set, there are around about 17 elements.
Right.
Some in the heavy range and some of the light range which have different industrial applications.
Right.
Whereabouts do your assets sit there?
We're considered a heavy rare earth deposit. We're skewed quite heavily, 40% towards the heavy side. Dysprosium and terbium are the key value in our ore basket.
Now, as a consumer of those products, which countries would be wanting to buy that, or organisations, and for what?
Well, most of the major industrial players in the world need dysprosium, so the demand is increasing very dramatically, and access to dysprosium specifically is dropping off because domestic Chinese production is increasing, and of course the Chinese are going to favor their own domestic requirements, and they're currently producing over 97% of the product. So everybody really needs access, a secure access to dysprosium, and they need to find suppliers outside of China. And we think that we're a leading contender.
In terms of an investor looking at Ucore as an investment proposition, at what stage is it a good time to invest now in terms of the rare earth cycle, or in terms of Ucore's position in the market?
I think it's an excellent time to buy. I mean, we've been beat up with the rest of the resource sector, and specifically the rare earth sector. But there's a lot of information coming out so that the broader group of investors are now aware of the rare earth sector. Previous to this, in 2010, it was very speculative. There was a lot of hype, but in truth, the heavy rare earths are going to be a very important requirement for industrial development going forward, for things like green tech industries that include development of wind power through wind turbines, electric vehicles, even your iPods and Blackberries are going to require a significant amount of heavy rare earths.
I guess a lot of people don't know how much rare earth there is in modern technology now in electric cars. I think there's up to 13 kilos of rare earth oxide in a Prius. Your iPads and your iPhones, and new applications coming out every day. What do you see Ucore's plan for, say, the 3-year period?
Well, we actually plan to be in production in 3 years. So immediately we're going to come out with our preliminary economic analysis, and that's imminent. We've just recently completed our flow sheet, which is the last technical input to the PEA, and we're currently writing it, so I'm hoping that it'll be available within a month. What the PEA will do is explain to everybody how we're going to produce dysprosium, terbium, and the other heavy rare elements in an extremely cost-effective and environmentally friendly way. I think it'll be very interesting to read the PEA, and I assume that that's going to drive our growth from there.
Yeah, 3 years sounds like there are a lot of other rare earth companies around in the exploration and formative stage, but they're talking this decade. They're not talking 3 years like you're talking.
Yeah, well, I think there'll be significant room for the players that come in 8 to 10 years, and it seems like a lot of the larger deposits are really struggling now to get to get not only their metallurgy complete, but actually to get funded. And I think they're going to struggle for a little while yet. Whereas with Bocan, we should be very well funded because we have heavy support from the Alaskan government. We have extremely high interest from domestic industrial players, as well as European and Chinese and Japanese concerns, although we would prefer to work with the American solution. We think that we're going to be well funded through those types of consortiums and offtake agreements, and there's excellent geopolitical support. Alaska really wants to get the mine developed so that they can build an industry around it. What they'd like us to do is mine it, mill it, separate it, all in Alaskan soil, and that will help to add high-tech jobs to their economy. And it may well, like in China, attract outside investment to do manufacturing close to the primary industry.
Oh, that's an
so they could get alloy manufacturing, magnet making, and potentially other downstream, high-tech companies
on
that
this
want
side
to do
of the planet.
business.
Yeah.
Exactly. So,
Mark MacDonald, Ucore, thank
okay,
you very
great.
much.